Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're taking a look at the Blades of Khorne, and in particular the sub-faction, the Goretide. Now in this video we're going to go through the special rule that makes the Goretide special for a Blades of Khorne army before having a look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for the faction. We'll then take a look at a couple of other units we recommend to expand with after those first couple of initial purchases, and finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own Blades of Khorne army with the Goretide. And so, to begin with, we have the special rule for the Goretide, which is called Tireless Conquerors. You add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by friendly Goretide bloodbound units that target an enemy that is either contesting an objective you do not control or that is targeting an enemy wholly within enemy territory. So straight away, this is telling us two things. We are generally playing an offensive-focused army here, which is no surprise in Khorne at all, but also we are going to want to focus on our bloodbound units, our mortal side of the force. There are also a variety of different named characters, like Magor's Fiend and indeed Khorne's Cool himself, that are named characters specific to the Goretide as well, so we'll be able to gain these particular benefits. And so, where to start, of course, but with Khorne's Cool himself. For me, he is a really solid hero. He's got some really interesting techie rules to him. The first of these is Akshi's Bane, the Realm of Fire's Bane. This unit is eligible to fight in the combat phases within 8 inch of an enemy unit instead of 3, and it can move an extra 5 inch when it piles in as well. This just gives you really powerful and really good reach with this model. You know, there's no need to ever charge in with Khorne's Cool. He just pulls into a fight wherever he wants, whenever he wants, thanks to this. His Collar of Khorne ability allows him to unbind an enemy spell in the hero phase in the same manner as a wizard, and then of course he's got his Realm Splitting Axe. So the Axe of Khorne to start with is 6 attacks, 3s, Rend 2, damage 2, and each time this unit fights, wounds caused by the Blood Dark Claws must be allocated before wounds caused by the Axe of Khorne. Those Blood Dark Claws are from his little pet there, which are 4 attacks, 3s, 4s, Rend 1, damage 1. But at the end of any phase in which any wounds caused by this unit's Axe of Khorne in that phase were allocated to an enemy model and that enemy model has not been slain, you roll the dice. On a 5+, the enemy model is just slain. Auto-slain, taken off the battlefield as he literally banishes them to the Realm of Khorne. Now, his Lord of the Goretide ability as well, if this unit's included in a Goretide army, once per battle at the start of the combat phase, you can say, cool, we'll unleash the wrath of the Goretide. And then what happens is you get to make an additional murder roll for all friendly Goretide bloodbound units that round. And then, you know, he's got his companion, which is, of course, Grizzlemore, and that's where those Blood Dark Claws are coming from. Now, if we're looking for a unit to start alongside him, I think that looking at Blood Warriors, who have got a massive glow up in the new book, are an excellent place to go. Blood Warriors have 2 wounds each and a base 3+ save. Now, each model in the Blood Warriors unit is armed with either Gore Axes and Gore Fists or paired Gore Axes. What this will do, Gore Axe and Gore Fist has 2 attacks at 3s, 4s, Rend 1, damage 1. And if you go with the paired version, you will get an extra attack. Now, 1 in every 10 models in the unit, regardless of what weapon option you've chosen as that primary one, can have a Gore Glaive, which is 2 attacks, 3s, Rend 2, damage 2. Your champion will get to add +1 attack, and they can also have standard bearers for some bonus bravery in them as well. No Respite means if this unit's included in the Blades of Khorne army, each time a model in this unit is slain, you make 2 murder rolls instead of 1. And Gore Fists also have the cool ability to potentially do some mortal wounds back for each time you make a save roll of a 6 that is unmodified. Now, looking at where we can go next, there's a few interesting things I think bring into the Goretide. Obviously, we've got plenty of stuff here, and with Khorne's Cool, I think he really does give us those extra murder rolls, so why not look at a model that gets plenty of murder rolls? That is the Khorne. So Khorne are 8 wounds and a 4+ save. They've got their Bone Tentacles, which are a few shooting attacks here and there, but the Claws and Fangs are melee, 5 attacks, 3s, Rend 1, damage 2. The cool thing about them is enemy units cannot receive Inspiring Presence while they're within 3 inch of any Khorne, and each time an enemy model is slain by an attack made by this unit, it gets to heal a wound as well. If this unit is included in a Blades of Khorne army as well, when the unit is destroyed, it makes 5 murder rolls instead of 1, or if Khorne's Cool uses his ability, thanks to it being a bloodbound unit, he potentially will make 6 murder rolls, which could be pretty cool. Now, a different priest we can bring in to provide some much needed priestly abilities for the Force is the brand new Realm Gore Ritualist. Now, the Desecrating Blood runes once per battle at the end of your movement phase. You can pick an objective or terrain feature within 3 inches of this unit and say it will mark it by desecrating it with blood runes. If you do so until the end of the battle, you add 1 to hit rolls made by friendly bloodbound units' melee weapons while they're within 8 inch of that objective or terrain feature. It's also got a Blood Hex prayer on its war scroll as well, which has the ability to subtract some attacks from enemy units. Now, the next piece I like to talk about is the Skull Grinder. Normally, not something I would pick, but I think he really does have some play alongside Khorne's Cool. His ability, Tempered with Fury, the ability to, after deployment, you can pick another friendly Bloodbound hero within 8 inch and have their weapon tempered. This, just allowing any Bloodbound unit, can make sure you know that Khorne's Cool is probably getting through that damage with that Realm Splitting Axe to get those models getting removed off the table instantly by giving them another point of rend. You also have the Bone Crushing Strikes ability, where you add 1 to your damage whenever you're attacking models that are monsters. So you get 3 attacks, 3 threes, rend 1, damage 4 against monsters. In addition, any wounds caused by this attack with the Brazen Anvil that targets a monster will give Strike Last to said monster. Now, lastly, we have the different judgments of Khorne, which are really fun. First of all, you have the Wrath Axe, which is just straight up damage dealing. The Hexgorger Skulls have some cool abilities to play around with your opponent's wizards, including potentially blowing them up. And then the Blood Sigil is a particular favourite of mine, stopping your opponent being able to use Inspiring Presence. This combined with a Korgorath on another part of the battlefield can be a really cool little combo. And so here we have our sample army list for the Blades of Khorne, obviously playing in the Goretide here as our sub-faction. And then we've gone Mortal Realm Gore, Grant Strategy, Take What's Theirs, which I think is pretty stock standard for Khorne. You know, you're an aggressive army, you're wanting to move across the table, especially with the Goretide, more so than any other faction because you get abilities for being in your opponent's territory. Now, Khorne's Cool is going to be in our force, but our Skull Grinder is going to be our general, who's going to have the Law of the Gore Chosen command trait, where you add 1 to the attack characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly Gore Chosen units while they're hollow within 16 inch of this general. This can go pretty nicely, being able to potentially give our Blood Warriors the either extra attack, taking them to 4 attacks each, or allowing them to have those nice little Blackler Bade fists that have got the Gore fists to punch back mortal wounds in your enemy, but still getting 3 attacks, so getting the most of both worlds. He's then got the Gore Cleaver as well, which allows him to get an additional point of rend. This will help him doing some damage on monsters, but also on the modified hit roll of a 6, it'll do some mortal wounds in addition to any other damage. We then got the aspect of the champion on him, stubborn as a Rhinox, letting him count as 10 models. The Realm Gore Ritualist then has the Prayer Unholy Flames on them, which is going to give us some extra rend, particularly cool on the Skull Grinder as well, just buffing him up, or, you know, helping Khorne's Cool get some cool rend 4 on him if need be. Battle line wise, we've got 2 units of 10 Blood Warriors, but we've also taken Magor's Fiends, which are Blood Warriors from Warhammer Underworlds. They're the Blood Warrior warband from it. They pretty much act as normal Blood Warriors, really. They've got the cool extra murder rolls ability. We then have a Korgorath as well as a Bleeding Icon rounding out the force. Everything wrapped up in a battle regiment for a 1-drop force at 1,000 points and a decent amount of wounds on the table as well. If you've got some ideas for a Khorne's Cool focused Goretide force for the Blades of Khorne, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fantastic little community here, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. If you would like to, you can do so either by YouTube members or Patreon, or by grabbing yourself some merch at Teespring or at our Ko-fi store. All of them are linked down in the video's description. As a special thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer Shot First, Andrew Bowen, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallers, Redman, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Colomos, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Rich Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weird, James Tillman, Gargamel196, and Disco. Lastly, a special thanks, first of all, to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing art with the channel, everyone who helps come and provide the games for everyone to watch on the channel as well, and indeed all our fantastic mods and members of the community who keep our Discord and comment section a fantastic place for all to be. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.